Sonic, a gaming series that has been going on for 33 whole years, and one of the most profitable gaming series of all time. And with profit comes games. And in total, there is 5 Sonic games on the PS4 and PS5. So I have set myself a challenge to play all of the Sonic games on the PS5. So the order that I will be playing these in is Sonic Mania, Sonic Origins, Sonic Superstars, Sonic Colors, then the dreaded Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Mania, a game that is a combination of all of the old and classic Sonic games. It is very, very, very highly acclaimed by the entirety of the Sonic fan base. It is a lot of people's favorite, if not one of their favorite Sonic games. And you might be asking, Sonic Man, why in the heck are you starting with Sonic Mania out of all games to start with? And I'll tell you that right now. Number one, it is the shortest out of this list, clocking at around a 5-hour runtime. Very short. And 3 hours if you're trying to speedrun it. Also, I want to do this so when I play Generations, next week at the time of this recording is when Sonic X Shadow Generations is coming out, I can have all the info in the world that I need. And that is all. Sonic Mania, a game that I have just finished, and that I actually am surprised that I loved as much as I did. I loved this game a lot. It was probably the fastest 5 hours of my life that I have ever had. I blasted through this game within probably like 4 hours and 30 minutes. It didn't take long. But now I'm gonna go into the nitty gritty of this game. So, number one, soundtrack of this game bangs so fucking hard. God damn, is that soundtrack so good? It is like probably one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in a video game. And I mean that wholeheartedly. And that's pretty regular with a Sonic game. You're gonna get one of the best soundtracks you've ever heard in a video game. Just like point to SA2 and you'll get a perfect soundtrack from start to finish. But now going on, the level design in this game is insane. It's not as hard as other games, but it's not as easy as other games either. I kept getting confession here. I kept getting stuck on Studiopolis. I was stuck on Studiopolis for like probably like 10 or 20 minutes. It was just so stupidly difficult. But my next thing is the designs in this game are really, really good. And I really did enjoy my time with this game. And now going on to my next point with this game is Tails. You might not see him right now, but Tails is just randomly in this game. Then again, I'm recording this like a day after I finished the game, and I'm in the process of playing Origins Plus right now. So I don't really remember the ending of this game, but I'm pretty sure Knuckles isn't in this game. I'll check later, and when I'm editing, I'll tell you if he is or not. But yeah, it was a surprise to see Tails, because when I went into this game, I had heard nothing about it, like zip nada about this game. But yeah, I was pleasantly shocked by this game. And another thing that I love about this game is just the overall vibes. The vibes in this game are immaculate. I will literally go from just like kind of like chilling in Green Hill, then immediately go to Studiopolis and get like woken up by that soundtrack, and you'll see me like banging my head back and forth, like vibing my head back and forth, not banging it, because YouTube does not like self-harm topics. But yeah, another thing I really did pleasantly enjoy about this game was probably the level choices. The level choices were very, very, very solid for this game, and I'm definitely enjoying it. But the overall thing, I'm kind of forgetting topics right now, I'm sorry. I'm gonna look at my notes. Oh, here's one. A really good thing about this game is the ending. How it teases forces, which is a much less and much worse game than this one. By the way, do not play Forces. I will not be playing Forces because that game sucks, and I hate Boost Formula games. I'm only playing Frontiers and Colors because I've heard good things about those ones. But do not play Forces. It is a waste of your time. But I did like how it kind of picks up from Generations, from what I've heard online at least, this game. That's where it started, because I have never played Generations before. But, now let's go on to my next set of notes. So now going on to my next point. My next point is that the overall look of this game. The look of this game is very, very similar to the old games, and I love how it kind of mocks that feel, and kind of like that warm, cozy kind of feel of the old games. But now, going on to my next point is that this is a good follow-up to Generations from what I've seen and heard about Generations, and I will be doing a video on Generations when it comes out with Shatter X Sonic Generations. I'll do like a big video of me playing through it. But yeah, I like this as a follow-up to Generations. From what the little I've seen of Generations, it's a good follow-up. It follows the ending of Generations pretty well. But Sonic Forces kind of ruins this, because the ending of this game leads right into Sonic Forces, and Sonic, old Sonic, classic Sonic, being teleported into the Forces, like the main timeline. And I don't know if I really like that. That's kind of disappointing on Sonic Team. Curse you, Yuji Naka, for doing that. Like, I have so many problems with Forces that I won't touch on. I'll do another video at a different date. Forces, in my opinion, is the worst Sonic game. But now getting back on track is how poppy and colorful this game is. The colors in this game is so good. It's very, very colorful. Like, I can just like look at Studiopolis at your screen right now, and you'll see how colorful and just bright and eye-catching it is, I should say. I also like how they have a mix of old and new levels. So how this game works is Act 1 is a straight copy and paste of the first game, of like the game that it's based off of, like Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, I'm pretty sure is what this game takes from. And then you go into a completely new stage. Usually, in my opinion, when I was playing it, the newer stages were a lot easier than the older ones. And that's just because this was my first 2D Sonic game. And at the time of this recording, it's so much easier now for me to handle them. Because now when I'm recording this, because I'm doing 2 separate recordings, I'm in the process of playing Superstars, and it is so much easier. I'm about halfway through Superstars at the time of this recording, and it's a lot easier. But yeah, that's one of my points. Now going on to my next point is the villains. The villains of this game, it might just be Eggman, but they use that stuff very appropriately. And how they do it, I like a lot. The hardest boss for me was probably the one in Studiopolis. That one was just kind of difficult because it was really the first big boss. Because I've played Sonic games before. I've played the ones that you can get on your phone in my spare time. I play it once in a while. And I beat Eggman very easily. It's just that Studiopolis boss was like my first new 2D Sonic boss, and it was very, very, very difficult. But yeah, that's really my closing points. If I would put this game on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it like a decent 9 to an 8 out of 10. There's problems and there's flaws. Oh dang it, I forgot to touch on those flaws. So my flaws with this game is it's too short, and it's not very welcoming to a new player, like a first-time player in the Sonic games. It's not very welcoming. You have to literally like adapt within 2 acts to get ready for Studiopolis, which is the first new stage. But other than Chem Plant, sorry, before Chem Plant. But yeah, so that's my closing points. Like I said, if I were to give this game a number rating, it'd probably be an 8.5 to a 9.1. Overall, a very good game, but not perfect. Now, we should be going on to the one, the only, Superstars! Sonic Superstars, the newest game in the franchise, and probably one of my favorites. So, let us both go together through my pros and cons of this game. There is really just one con in this game, and that is just the boss difficulty. The boss difficulty can be a little bit annoying at times, but it's fine once you get the hang of this game. But now going on to my pros, which is overwhelming. Also, look at my cute little shadow costume before I go on. So now let's go into my points. This game got released on October 17th, so the controls are very, very... October 17th, 2023, sorry, I should say that. Which makes it the newest game, so it has very snappy and tight controls. And tight controls mean everything in a Sonic game. Like, just look at Sonic 06 or Sonic Forces. They do not have tight and snappy controls, so it makes it a lot harder to control Sonic. So you're more prone to just go flying off the map at Mach 10, like your F1 jet flying off, going onto the Grand Canyon. But yeah, the controls are very snappy. They're very responsive and nice, and I like that about it a lot. But I also really, really like the overall designs. Like, look how cute it is. The designs of this game are so dang cute, and I really, really did enjoy this game a lot. Another thing is the overall layout of this game is insane. The layout of like how the levels are and the designs are immaculate, and like probably some of the best I've seen in the Sonic franchise. I really, really, really did love, because okay, so I'm recording this at the time where I've already finished every game, because I just felt like it. This is probably my favorite game. Out of every game I played on this list, this is my favorite. And I've played this game about 5 times because 5 of my friends bought it, so we decided to do a run through. And this game is short. It only takes like 3 or 4 hours to complete, and it took me with my friends like 3 hours. So yeah, I probably dedicated like 15 hours to this game. Don't ask. At each playthrough, I played as a new character. I really did. Probably my favorite was Amy or Sonic. Their controls were very funny and fun to play with. I liked Amy because of her hammer and how she used that to her effect. But yeah. Now going on to my next point, and one of the cons I had this game. The villains are not that good. They're like okay, and nothing else. They're just fine. Like, they're perfectly fine. Eggman's the only standout that I know. Like, I don't know who the purple guy is or the robot dude is. Like, I don't know who those are, and I'm sorry. They're probably obscure Sonic villains that I don't know of. But, one of my pros with this game is the levels are very, very, very short. Like, you can probably get through a level within, I'd say, about 3 or 4 minutes. It doesn't take long. The longest one is the jungle level, Act 2, that it took me on. And that was with my friends when we did it, and it took like, it's like 10 minutes to do the whole level. Also, the bosses in this game are fun. The bosses in this game are very, very fun to play. The monkey boss at the end of Jungle Act 2 is very funny. It's just a little bit difficult. That's another point that I have with this game. Not a con, neither a pro. It's just kind of like a middle of the road one. The bosses are decently difficult, but they're not like overbearingly. So it makes it fun enough when you're with friends. One of my pros is all the free DLC in this game. The free DLC in this game is insane how much they have. There's like so much that you can have. I'm pretty sure there's like 5 free outfits, and there's Lego outfits. That's insane. Lego outfits. I'm not trying to like be a Shadow Glizzy gladiator right here, but they have all these outfits, like the Shadow Sonic outfit, but yet they don't have a classic Shadow. Like, why not? Maybe just make him like DLC or something. Like, I would gladly buy Classic Shadow as a DLC if he was reasonably priced. Of course, I wouldn't pay like $20 for him, but just maybe Classic Shadow design. But then again, I can see why, because there was never a Classic Shadow in the first place looking to design like this. And they're just going over the core 4: Tails, Sonic, Knuckles, and Amy. I'm getting off track, I'm sorry. But yeah, this game is very, very fun and fun to play with friends. Also, highly recommend this playing with friends. Do not play this alone. It is very boring alone. But I'm gonna go on to my next points now. So my next point with this game is, oh my gosh, this makes me want to slam my head into a brick wall playing this level. Also, in-game YouTube, in-game, I don't want this video to get demonetized or some stuff like that. The Press Factory, Act 2, is the thing of my nightmares. That thing was so difficult. Like, difficult beyond belief. Like, stuff that you would not believe. Like, it's annoying because what you have to do is you have to run around
Then you have to press these buttons before the whole factory blows up. And you have like 5 seconds to hit the button. And it's just so incredibly annoying. But now going on my next point is I like the diversity with the characters and how diversely they play. And how they do not play the same every time. Like, I like how Amy, with her hammer, she plays more, like, up front, like, in your face type thing, where Knuckles will also play, like, really, like, close up and in your face, but Tails, on the other hand, he'll play more, like, far range, not, like, more like a ranged attacker, and Sonic's more like a speed one, but, yeah, I really like that. Another thing is, the cover art for this game is insane. I'll put the image on the screen right now of the cover art, particularly the reversible cover that you get, is what I really like. But the other thing that I like, just look how good that looks. Sorry if I'm getting off track. But if this game were to have a rating, I'd probably give it like a 9. It was really, really good. I loved my time with it. But the bosses were just too hard and the level design was not amazing with it. So, really good, but flawed. Well, anyways, that wraps up my points. Now on to Colors.
Sonic Colors, a game that I just finished, and I'm surprised that I did not like at all. I know that might anger the fan base, but it was just way too easy. But I'm going to leave those cons and explain myself when I get to my cons. But now let's go to my pros. My pros with the game is it's very short. I finished it within like 3 hours. It was very fast-paced. The designs are really, really cool. I like the concept of like a Mario Galaxy kind of style where you like hop from world to world. Like you get what I mean. And I also really like the first world a lot. It's just 10 stages is a lot, man. For one world. Because it's usually 3 in old Sonic games, but if we're talking about the new ones, it's 2. And if you times that by 5, it's just a lot harder to get through and sit through. But now I'll go. Another pro that I have is I loved the soundtrack. Soundtrack of this game was amazing. I love Reach for the Stars so much. In fact, I'm playing it right now, the instrumental. Good. Sega, don't come for me, please. But yeah, it's the overall soundtrack is really, really good, and I liked Eggman Land. But now let's go into my next point. So I played the Ultimate Edition. It doesn't hold up well, man. Like look at that. That doesn't look like something from 2020. That looks like something from 2011, which was, I'm pretty sure, when this game came out. Like, it doesn't look like something, like a new modern gen game. They said this was a remaster, but yet they did not remaster the cutscenes, which just upsets me. Like, why call it a remaster if you're gonna do nothing? Which leads into my next point, which is the bugs. The bugs in this game made me so upset that I rage quitted a couple times because I couldn't stand the bugs. The bugs were insanely stupid. But my next thing is really, like, genuinely, how do you mess up this, like, idea? And the idea of the wisp. How do you mess it up? It just feels like more of a task to use the wisp than anything else. And it's just annoying to use the wisp. And I don't like it at all. And I just didn't care for the story. The story was so boring. And I was so excited going into this game. Because if you didn't know, this was my first Boost Formula game. And I was curious to see why people were trash talking so much. Now I get it. This game is god awful. It's not good. Don't waste your money. I got it on a discount on the PlayStation Store, so I'm happy that I saved myself $60. Yeah, this is $60, by the way. If you were to play this, man, just go out, buy the Wii version, buy PS3 version. I don't care. Just don't play this. The Ultimate Edition. It's not fun. It doesn't hold up well. But my next point is the overall level design for this game. I've given compliments to almost every game that I reviewed so far about the level design. Level design in this game is so awful. It's straight line. Go in a straight line and you finish the level. That's all it is. Literally. I will go in a straight line. Look, right here. Look at the screen. I'm going in a straight line. I'm not turning at all. And also, how short the levels are. I can finish a level within 2 minutes. That is not good. I want a longer level. I expect better out of Sonic. Because if I go back to the classic stages, it usually takes me 4 minutes to complete one stage, and that's a nice runtime. Also, there's no bosses. You don't get a boss until the final stage. And then again, the bosses are easy. You kill them in 2 hits. Also, probably don't know this about me. I'm a platinum guy. I like going for platinums. The platinums for this game is 50 trophies. I'm not doing it. I might do a platinum trophy for Sonic X Shadow, depending on how this video does, in my next video that I have planned. But yeah, I was just overall I was so disappointed with this game, man. Like, it was upsetting playing it. But if I would give this a rating, it'd probably be a 7 to a 6. So let's settle in the middle. We're gonna go 6.5 out of 10, and makes me upset now. But let's go into Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers, the second newest game in this franchise. I'm going to keep my thoughts brief, try and go for the 6-minute mark on this one. So I can go all out for Origins. But before I do that, let me just tell you, Origins is taking a while, so that's why I haven't been doing that one yet. But here we go. So, Sonic Frontiers. Where do I start? We'll start with the pros first. The pros with this game is that I like the design a lot. I like the level designs and how the 4 worlds that you can play in, I'm pretty sure, are different, each one, and they bring their own new thing. I also did play the final DLC or whatever it's called, and I liked that you get to play as Tails, Knuckles. I also really liked the story for this one. The story for this one was really sweet, and it was just fun and sweet to play with. But now going on to my next point is that the overall abilities with this game and how it was kind of like Breath of the Wild, but think Sonic, was really, really, really cool and nice. But yeah, let's go on to my cons now, because I have a bunch. Number one, the length of this game. It's like a 20-hour game, I'm pretty sure. 20 or 11 hours, something like that. Hour game. That is stupidly long. I get that Breath of the Wild is like a 100-hour game, but no Sonic game needs to be over 10 hours long. It's kind of dumb. Also, I hated the Amy missions with my life. They were so annoying to do the stupid Amy missions. She was like, go get me 15 hearts. When I couldn't find 15 hearts for the life of me. It took me an hour to go find some stupid 15 hearts. But now going on to back to one of my pros. I like how we get to see how the relationships between Knuckles, Amy, and Tails. I like how, mainly with Knuckles, I like how we get to see how Knuckles and Sonic are kind of like brothers. And they act like brothers when they're talking. They're not just like BFFs, they act like genuine brothers, and like they have like a genuine, heartfelt relationship that you could believe was true. Another really big pro with this game is I loved the supersonic things, the giant mech fights at the end of each one when you get the 7 Chaos Emeralds and go supersonic. The only thing I didn't like about it, this is kind of a con, I didn't like the time limit. How it's dependent on how many rings you have. Don't get me wrong, I know that that's how it was in Sonic 2, and every interpretation of the yellow blur, but it runs out so fast. It's a coin a second, I'm pretty sure, and if I have 70 coins, then my coins run out very, very, very fast. Another thing I did not love nor hate about it was the sand one, the sand level. The sand level was not amazing, neither was it bad. It was just okay. Also, another thing I didn't love was the character designs. I didn't like how the world doesn't really feel like a Sonic. This game doesn't feel like a Sonic game. It feels more like rip-off Legend of Zelda. If you mix that with the boost formula, then you get Frontiers. And I didn't love that, but I neither did hate it either. But, now going on to my next part is the overall vibes of this game are good. The vibes are really, really, really good. But, if I were to plug this into a rating, I'd give it probably an 8 out of 10. Solid, but flaws, and the flaws were character design, length, the overall look, and the Amy missions. Dear God, help us with the Amy missions, because I can't sacrifice those things. But if you would please not skip right here, I'm gonna plug my new channel. It's with my best friend, the Funny Man Reacts. But it's called SFAM1. And if you would please subscribe to it, that would help us a lot. We're gonna be doing more like collaboration, like reactions mixed with my kind of style, like games and stuff. It's just gonna be kind of like almost like a podcast. But if you could subscribe to it, that'd help us a lot. If not, then I totally respect it. But now, let's go on to the final game. And dear God, I'm happy that this is the final game because this recording is taking a very long time. Sonic Origins Plus. Sonic Origins Plus. A game that I just finished. And I'm very happy that I finished because this game was god-awful long. Dear God, help me. But I'm going to stop complaining. Let's go into the pros and cons really fast. And one last break. Before we go into it, yes, I played Plus because I wanted to get more of the full experience. And when I went to Walmart to buy this game, this was the only copy that they had. They didn't have base Origins, they just had Plus. So, yeah. So, you're just gonna have to live with it because I'm not going to just play original Origins just because it make you feel better and sleep better at night. But yeah, so let's go into this. The overall difficulty of this game is good. It's neither bad nor good, and I'm saying this just about Sonic 3, Knuckles, and Sonic 2. Not Sonic CD nor Sonic 1. I will get onto those in a second. But let's cover the overall game. My pros with this game is I really, really did enjoy the overall looks and how it's kind of like a retro throwback. of the original. And by the way, yes, I'm using Mania footage. For some reason, it wouldn't let me record Origins footage on my PC. But yeah, so I just had to use this footage. So you're just gonna have to live with it. I'm sorry, but back on track. So yeah, I really enjoyed the overall look and how the game felt. The controls are very snappy. And when I mean snappy, I mean like very responsive, like quick responsive. There was no delay. It was just like instantly it worked, and there was nothing against that. And I don't have anything against Sega against that. Like that's a good thing. But my first bad thing is, dear God, these bosses are difficult. Also, Marble Zone is the thing of my nightmares. Help me, Marble Zone. It took me probably about like 20 minutes to get through Marble Zone because the lack of checkpoints. You will go 2 minutes and you won't see a checkpoint, then you'll die right when you're almost at a checkpoint, and then you'll go back to the beginning. I don't like that. I wish they would have changed that for this game, but no, they didn't feel like it. Also, the drowning theme gave me anxiety instantly, because this is my first time really hearing it, because when I played Mania, I was on a call with my friends the whole time, so this was my first time just playing it by myself, and hearing that, like, by myself, and that was terrifying, hearing it the first time. I was like, what? What's happening? Then I just died. I was like, oh, I was supposed to get out of the water. That makes more sense now. But, yeah, the Sonic CD, okay, I'll go on to Sonic CD now. Those were points on Sonic 1, Sonic CD time now. Sonic CD, I don't like how confusing it is. Sonic CD is very confusing to play, because I get what they were trying to go for, like, let the player have more option in what they're gonna do and, like, how they're gonna play. And I enjoyed that. It was just, I didn't like the overall, it was just way too confusing playing the levels. The levels were so dang confusing, and I did not like that. Then again, I played this at 1:35 a.m. in the morning, so that's probably why. Yeah, I haven't gotten sleep in a couple days because of this challenge. And hopefully this gets views, because if not, then fuck my sleep, I guess. But, yeah, it was just way too confusing and way too, like, nonsensical for me. But, I forgot to say, I like the inclusion of Amy. When we see Amy for the first time, she's only in it for a couple of minutes, but when we do see her, it's cool. Another thing that I really like about this game is Metal Sonic. We only see him a couple times, but it's still good. Another thing is the opening cinematic. The opening cinematics, you only get them twice, I think. One at the beginning and one at the end. But they're really cool. Seeing Sonic, like, have a race against Metal Sonic on the freeway was really, really fun to watch. Because I played this on my PlayStation and on my phone, because you can download Sonic, CD on your phone when I was, like, on a trip, because I've been on a trip for a couple days. When I've been recording this, I'm on my trip right now in my hotel bathroom, so pray for me, please. Yeah, I really did like the overall, animation style, and how it felt very 90s. But now, for time constraints, let's go on to Sonic 2 and Knuckles. I'm gonna speedrun this really fast. So, with Sonic 2, I loved the inclusion of Tails, and the overall thing with, Super Sonic. I haven't really touched on this yet, but I really did like the bonus levels in this game. I hated them in Sonic CD and Sonic 1. They made me nauseous playing it. But, yeah, now going on to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So, with Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I really liked the Knuckles part. And this is just Sonic 3. I'll go on to Knuckles in a second. Because if you didn't know, they were two separate games because Sega wanted to make a big, giant game. Look it up for yourself. I don't have enough time. But, I really liked the overall gameplay in Sonic 3. It was fun, and I really liked how Sonic 2 borrowed a lot of elements from Sonic 3. And that was fun to play with. I also really enjoyed the bonus levels from this game also. The Blue Dots one was really fun. It was hard, but it was like the kind of hard that makes you like laugh when you fail. The bosses in Sonic 3 were really, really fun. And I enjoyed playing them a lot. And beating them. It was like a challenge that I liked. I liked having the challenge. Also, I'm eating pretzels right now, so that's what that rattling is. But, yeah, now going on to Sonic Knuckles. I liked the story, I liked the Knuckles aspect, and I liked overall in Origins, the thing that you can switch characters. Giving this game, it'd probably be a 9. I liked it a lot. Neither flawed nor thing. Neither bad nor good, sorry. But thank you for watching, if you're still watching, this literal 41-minute video. God, I need to go touch grass now. Well, I'll see you guys later, and have a good day. Goodbye.